Hi there, this is Datila, and welcome to the Just Lean Time Post Show. It is Wednesday, May 24, 2023, which means that tonight I will be talking about AEW Dynamite. Tonight's Dynamite being the go-home show to Double or Nothing. But first, before we get into tonight's review, let's talk about Tony Khan's announcement. He made the announcement of the location for the debut episode of AEW Collision. It was long rumored to be the United Center in Chicago, Illinois, and tonight we got that official confirmation. The debut episode of Collision will be held at the United Center in Chicago, Saturday, June 17th. So, I guess that can only mean one thing. CM Punk is probably coming back. I don't know if they're not going to tell us and he'll just show up on the debut episode, or if they will tell us beforehand. So I'm very curious to see what they do with CM Punk's big return. So I cannot wait for the Collision, and I cannot wait to see what they do with Collision, because look what's happening with Rampage right now. I don't even know what time it's going to air on Friday. Alright, so tonight's Dynamite kicked off with the AEW International title match. It was Orange Cassidy defending against Kyle Fletcher of Aussie Open. And as we learned, Aussie Open is now All Elite Wrestling. I cannot wait to see what Aussie Open does in AEW. So this was actually a really good match. I actually enjoyed this match. I mean, Orange Cassidy came close to losing that title. How he kicked out of a tombstone followed by a spinning tombstone is beyond me. But then again, it does make sense for him to retain because he does have the Blackjack Battle Royal at Double or Nothing. So it made no sense for him to lose here and then go on to compete in that Blackjack Battle Royal. So here we are. Kyle Fletcher did a Michinoku driver to Orange Cassidy, and then Orange Cassidy did one to him. I really liked when Kyle Fletcher did the sit-down avalanche Michinoku driver to Orange Cassidy from the second rope. That was a cool spot. I was a little worried there because it looked like he was going to do a tombstone from the middle rope, but thank God he did it. And I don't know if anybody caught this. I'm sure this was intentional. I don't think this was an accident. There was some random static appearing during this match. Like all of a sudden, like the screen turned black and some static appeared. And now we know that Collision is going to be at the United Center. So is that a hint of CM Punk? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? I guess we just got to wait and see. So Orange Cassidy successfully retains his AEW International title. And he's going to go on to Double or Nothing and defend in that Blackjack Battle Royal. Orange Cassidy is on a roll with these title defenses. I'm very curious to see who's going to be the one to take the title off of him. Afterwards, we get a Ricky Starks backstage interview in which he's basically talking about how it's no secret he's a hothead and he's in full control. He says in every single match, week after week, he's getting beat up by Juice Robinson and Jay White. He's got nothing left to lose, so he's refocusing his energy on the Battle Royal because he's going to be a part of the Blackjack Battle Royal. And then Bullet Club Gold attacks Ricky Starks. Jay White hits Ricky Starks in the back of on the back with a steel chair, and he tells Ricky Starks that Bullet Club isn't done with him. I mean, that does make sense since their match ended in a DQ. So we hear from Jungle Boy Jack Perry in the form of a video. It's like a video promo. He starts talking about how he drove down to Las Vegas for the first Double or Nothing. And last year he drove with Christian Cage. And so on Monday morning when he has to make that drive down again, he will do it as AEW World Champion. So tonight we were supposed to hear from all four of the pillars. This was the first one we do hear from Sammy, Guevara, MJF, and Darby Allin later on in the night. So you get an FTR In Ring Promo, and Cash is talking about how it would be easy for him to say that Lethal and Jeff Jarrett are trash, that they politic their way to their spots, they're smart and good at what they do, and they've been lucky. But at Double or Nothing, their luck runs out. And then Dax Harwood says, and I quote, "You've broken 1,000,000 damn guitars and you still can't stay relevant." I was like, damn, he went there. He calls him a couple of rejects from TNA who should call the Queen of the Mountain, referring to Dixie Carter, not his wife Karen Jarrett. Mark Briscoe comes out and Cash says that Mark has every right to be mad. Cash says that last year they went to hell and back with the Briscoes. And this time they will go to war for Mark Briscoe. Dax wants to shake Mark's hand like a man, but Mark Briscoe's not happy. If you guys remember, Dax Harwood accidentally pile drive Mark Briscoe. So Mark Briscoe, in response to that, he smacked Harwood. And you can hear Cash tell Mark not to let them get in his head. And so as he's leaving, Karen Jarrett comes out. He shoves Jeff Jarrett. He shoves Sanjay. And then he tells Jay Lethal that he's his boy, but he's sick of this bullshit. So very interesting to see what Mark Briscoe does as special guest referee in this match. I really hope FTR retains. I don't know how I would feel if Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal win this match. We get a Sammy Guevara backstage interview. Renee Paquette tells Sammy that MJF told her to tell him that the offer still stands. Sammy says he won't lie down for MJF. He says that MJF can't buy everything and that everybody tried to buy him out of his dreams. He brings up how previous bosses tried to buy him out of his dreams, and he's going to take that title off MJF. So next we get the AEW World Trios title match, and it is a House of Black versus the random trio of Blake Christian, AR Fox, and Metalik. So Blake Christian and Buddy Matthews start this match. You get Buddy Matthews doing a knee strike to Blake Christian. You get Metalik and Blake Christian double teaming Brody King on the outside. You get Buddy Matthews doing an inverted Texas Clover leaves to AR Fox. Brody King puts Blake Christian to sleep. And you got Malachi Black D with Metalik in the background. And so House of Black wins this by submission. So that was a decent match. But House of Black, by the looks of the card, they aren't even going to defend their trios titles at Double or Nothing. So I'm a little confused as to why that's the case. So we hear from the BBC in a backstage promo. Brian says that they have two objectives for tonight. And the first one is for Claudio and Wheeler Yuta to win the ROH tag titles from the Lucha Brothers and take the division to a whole new level. The second is to defeat the Elite at Double or Nothing. Then Moxley starts talking about how they are the best in the world, and that is the standard they set themselves to. He says they do the job the way it's meant to be done, and that there isn't anyone who does the job better than them. And he asks, are you willing to stand in the line of fire? And basically Moxley says that on Sunday, the BCC will deliver a storm of violence, and we will see the difference between amateurs and professionals. So very good promo by the BCC. I cannot wait for Anarchy in the arena. Last year's was amazing, so I cannot wait for this match. We get an MJF In Ring promo. And he orders his music to be cut, and he starts talking about how he's intelligent and he's fully aware of how important and monumental this match is. It doesn't get any more homegrown than them, referring to himself, Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin, and Jungle Boy Jack Perry. He says they've all been there since day one. He says that all four of them have given them the best moments, the best matches, and that they aren't just a part of AEW, they are AEW. And he says no one knew who they were 4 years ago. He says he's kind of bored and sick of the place. He's sick of the lack of competition. He's tired of the fans not showing the respect he deserves. He brings up the fact that Tony Khan is hitting the panic button because he might take his ball and go home. He points to the Triple B and says that that is his ball and he's earned his ball, and that none of them are on the level of the devil. So I'm going to stop right there. There's more that follows, but I'm going to stop right there for right now. And it's so crazy how so much changes in 1 year. I remember last year being at Double or Nothing and hearing that MJF, walked out of his fan signing, and then, going to Dynamite after Double or Nothing, and he dropped that pipe bomb. And we didn't see MJF for a while. So it's crazy how now a year later, he is champion. But I thought that was a really good promo on his part. And I would not be surprised if MJF uses everything at his disposal to ensure he stays AEW champion. So Darby Allin comes out and he says he's lost a lot in his life, but he hasn't lost his mind. He talks about how no other company will let him skate with Tony Hawk, and that he will be taking the title from MJF, and he might even do it with a headlock takeover. This doesn't sit well with MJF, so he gives Darby Allin a low blow. Sammy Guevara comes out And he says Darby Allin. And as MJF is leaving, Jungle Boy comes out and he attacks MJF and then he holds up the title. So I thought this was a good segment, good way to incorporate all 4 pillars as we head towards Double or Nothing. I liked MJF's promo. So next we get Taya Valkyrie versus Lady Frost. Both good talent. Obviously Jade comes out. She watches this match. And this was basically for Taya Valkyrie to make a statement. She beats Lady Frost using the Valhalla. And she stirs at Jade as she does the move. So Taya Valkyrie has momentum heading into Double or Nothing. In my opinion, I don't know what's going on with Chris Statlander. I don't know what her return looks, what the time frame of her return looks like. But if she's not good to come back, I'd say Taya Valkyrie is the one to take that title off of Jade. And this at Double or Nothing is the perfect time to do it. So, but that's just my opinion. Again, if not Taya Valkyrie, maybe Chris Statlander. And if it doesn't happen at Double or Nothing, it should hopefully happen at All Out. But honestly, we got to take that title off of Jade, you know, because pretty much it's the same thing, storylines with her so far. And it's not her fault. But, you know, we got to eventually take that title off of Jade so that she can eventually move on to other storylines. Because basically right now, her storyline is that she's undefeated. So after this is when we get Tony Khan's big announcement, but I already talked about that, so I'm just going to skip it. So we get a Hangman Adam Page backstage interview. He talks about how Matt and Nick used to be his best friends and how he's had a complicated relationship with Kenny Omega. He says that they're family and family sticks together. You know, he talks about how the BCC, you know, targeted his eye and that on Sunday, the BCC pays in blood. So like I said earlier, I cannot wait for that Anarchy in the Arena match. We get Adam Cole, Bay, and Chris Jericho contract signing for their unsanctioned match. And everyone's agreed to no physicality. So Adam Cole immediately signs that contract. And he starts talking about how for weeks he's wondered why Jericho did what he did. He couldn't eat, he couldn't sleep. He says that Chris Jericho directed traffic. And maybe it's because Chris Jericho is a scumbag or a disgusting human being. He says he did it because Jericho thinks he's invincible. And AEW should be thankful this match is unsanctioned because blood will be on his hands, not on AEW, just the way he likes it. He talks about how it's taken a lot of power for him not to dive across the table and beat Jericho within an inch of his life. And on Sunday, they're going to find out if Jericho can walk, talk, or sign because Adam Cole will break his legs, jaws, and hands. And so he tells Chris Jericho to sign it, bitch. Chris Jericho says he ain't no bitch because he's not from Las Vegas. And Jericho says that he's going to remind Adam Cole how Britt Baker's beatdown happened. So, well, he basically replays a beatdown. And you could see Adam Cole's like not happy with that. He starts talking about how what kind of a man will allow the love of his life to get the crap beat out of her and not do anything. Chris Jericho calls Adam Cole a coward and will shove his teeth down his throat. So then Jericho says that Adam Cole and Rodrick Strong are outnumbered because there's 5 of them and only 2 of them. And Adam Cole says that he made a phone call to someone who lives in Las Vegas. And that person ended up being none other than ECW legend Sabu, who came out. Adam Cole threw a chair at Sabu and he hit Matt Menard with it. So very curious to see if Sabu's appearance here is just a one-time appearance, you know, at Double or Nothing, or is it actually going to lead to him signing a contract? I guess we got to wait and see what happens at Double or Nothing. And this leads into Daniel Garcia versus Rodrick Strong, which was a really good match, actually. Rodrick Strong did a side headlock takedown to Daniel Garcia. He did chest chops. I caught 2 backbreakers. I'm not sure if he did more, but I caught 2. And then Daniel Garcia busted his moves out. Daniel Garcia put Rodrick Strong in the Dragon Tamer. Rodrick Strong hit the Gutbuster to Daniel Garcia, and he was victorious. So definitely Rodrick Strong is on a roll since he's debuted in AEW. And after this, we get our main event, which is for the ROH World Tag Team titles. It is the Lucha Brothers versus Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. So as the match starts, chaos ensues. You get the Lucha Brothers taking out Claudio and Wheeler Yuta on the outside. You do get Claudio doing a giant swing to Rey Fenix, which is followed up with the dropkick from Wheeler Yuta. You get Penta Ese o Miedo doing a Canadian Destroyer to Claudio, which was pretty cool. So Claudio cheap shots Rey Fenix while Wheeler Yuta has a referee distracted. So I thought for sure the BCC was going to win this match because I was like, okay, yeah, it makes sense. Claudio Castagnoli is Ring of Honor World Champion. It would make sense for them to become tag team champions, and then all you gotta do is get that TV title off Samoa Joe, and all of BCC holds gold. That didn't happen though. Maybe it will eventually down the road. Maybe we shall see. Maybe after Double or Nothing. Putting that out there. So while this is happening, Matt and Nick Jackson come out from under the ring and they hold Claudio to prevent him from bringing up the pin. So poor Wheeler Yuta's in the ring alone, and the Lucha Brothers end up being victorious because of that. And they cost Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta the tag team titles. So at the end of this, Moxley cuts a promo. He basically vows that the Anarchy in the Arena match will be the most brutal, violent match in AEW history. And he says that the Young Bucks and their weak-ass friends are going to get plastered on Las Vegas Boulevard. And they will not accept anything less than violence. And that is how the go-home show to Double or Nothing ends. Overall, I thought tonight's show was pretty good. I've always said the purpose of the go-home show is to get you excited for the pay-per-view and the show itself. I did enjoy Orange Cassidy's match. The Trios match, while I thought it was decent, I just, the House of Black isn't defending the Trios titles at Double or Nothing. Good promo by MJF. And really liked the main event here. So I'd give this a 7 out of 10. I think that this show did its job. And that was supposed to get you excited for the pay-per-view. But with that being said, you guys, thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continuous support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. And as far as Friday is concerned, I know SmackDown is taped and Impact is doing Under Siege. Haven't decided yet which one I will be watching. So I don't know yet what review I'll be doing, but just keep an eye out for that. And I'll see you guys Friday, either after SmackDown or after Under Siege. Bye.